Heartbreak. It's fun, right? No, not really. Last week I was speaking to a friend who told me that they've recently went through a breakup and they felt quite, upset. In the same conversation they asked me if I had some movie recommendations to help them get over somebody, and I said sure, listed a few movies, and we left it there. After a conversation, I got to thinking, what are the best movies to watch when you're going through a breakup? Well, I've spent the last few days making a list. Not only a list, but a roadmap of movies to watch to help you get over somebody. Each movie has a purpose on the map, and once you've watched them all, hopefully you'll be feeling a lot better. It's not a nice feeling, so one of the best ways is to just entirely escape into a different world and get away from everything. Our first movie is La La Land. If you know this movie, you're going to be a little confused as to why this heartbreaking musical is on the list. I'll get to that. But if you don't know what La La Land is, well, strap in because this is a journey of a film. Briefly, it follows the characters of Mia, an aspiring actress, and Seb, a struggling jazz musician, and both of these characters fall in love, but are also trying to pursue their dreams. Throughout this movie, you watch them try find the balance between love and chasing dreams, and how difficult that reality can be. Now, I know this sounds heartbreaking, especially if you're sad, and that's true, but the reason I have this movie on the list is because I think to get over something difficult, sometimes it's best to just face it, embrace the pain, and heal that way, rather than denying it and prolonging the hard time. This movie has a perfect balance of love, incredible music, and I say that as somebody who usually dislikes musicals, beauty in every way, and heartbreak. You'll find yourself lost in these two characters, invested in their lives and their relationship, and this one will definitely stick with you for a long time. I've watched it over 10 times, and it still makes me feel a lot of things every single time I watch it. Check it out. If you've seen it, check it out again and again and again and again. On to the next movie. Let's go with a different genre for this one, horror. Again, how is horror a good way to get over a breakup? Well, a good horror movie will allow you to escape from everything for the movie's length, and it'll get your heart racing and will act as an ultimate distraction. The movie I've picked for this is The Invisible Man. Picking a horror movie for this list is quite difficult because some people get scared super quickly, and some people it's just almost impossible to scare them. So I think The Invisible Man takes a good spot right in the middle of that. The movie follows a woman who believes she's being stalked and gaslit by her ex-husband after he acquires the ability to become invisible. The movie perfectly understands suspense. It doesn't show too much too quick, doesn't reveal everything all at once, and keeps your pulse high the entire time. I do think this movie is underrated, and if you're not a major fan of horror, watch this with somebody else. But if you really hate horror, here are some good comedy horror-ish movies that aren't scary at all. What We Do in the Shadows, Shaun of the Dead, and the classic Beetlejuice. So if you kind of hate horror movies, you can watch one of these and it'll count as a horror movie. But The Invisible Man focuses on realistic fears, such as being watched by somebody and feeling like you've gone a little crazy because of that. It has great acting from Elizabeth Moss and is a refreshing horror movie that I think you should definitely watch. After that horror movie, maybe it's time for a comedy. My favourite comedy at the moment is Four Lions. This movie is absolutely nuts, but in the best possible way. Four Lions follows a group of bumbling fundamentalist suicide bomber wannabes who couldn't organise a backyard firework display to save themselves, and in this movie they plan to execute a terrorist attack in the heart of London, as long as they don't accidentally end their own lives first. And from that description, the movie doesn't sound too funny, but I feel like it's one of those movies that the true joy and humour comes from the acting and the characters' relationships. This movie continuously keeps up the comedic pace, and as the movie goes on, you find yourself extremely attached to the group of characters. The comedy doesn't feel cheap, like 10 fart jokes. You watch this movie, you engage, you leave feeling emotional, but it also gets you thinking. What sets Four Lions apart is its ability to explore serious and controversial subjects without ever compromising the comedy. That's a sign of a good comedy movie. From the first minutes of this movie, I genuinely had tears in my eyes, and I just could not stop laughing the entire movie. This is such an underrated film that deserves more attention, so go watch it. One thing we all do to an extent when we're in a relationship is that we neglect our friendships and other relationships. Naturally, we end up spending more time with our partners, and as a result, sometimes our friendships suffer. Not always, but sometimes. And after heartbreak, maybe it's a good idea to watch a movie with somebody you love in a non-romantic way. The perfect movie for this is Snack Shack. Set in Nebraska City, 1991, it follows two best friends who get the chance to run a swimming pool snack shack that later comes to be the perfect scenario for transgression, fun, personal discovery, and romance. This movie has only been released in 2024, and this movie in every way just gets it. I'm going to read my Letterboxd review for this because I feel like it briefly summarizes everything I have to say for this movie. In so many ways, the movie understands itself, its genre, characters, themes, and so much more. The pace is great and the dynamics feel so honest, and you very quickly attach to the characters, their friendships, and their relationships. The overall form just works so well in every single way. I found myself relating to so much in this movie. The most important thing this movie showcases is how important and formative our adolescent relationships and friendships are, and any movie that understands that and explores it so well is a perfect coming of age movie to me. Even though this is a lot more than just a coming of age movie, this movie is absolutely beautiful, and honestly, I don't have anything else to say about this movie. Just incredible. Go watch it. Next, sticking to the same theme, my ultimate comfort movie, Paddington. Paddington is innocence in every single way. You watch this movie and you feel your faith in humanity restore. It will warm your heart and soul, and you will find yourself beyond attached to this bear called Paddington. The movie follows a young Peruvian bear that travels to London in search of a home. Finding himself lost and alone at Paddington Station, he meets the kind Brown family who offer him a temporary haven. The great thing about this movie is that it's perfect for any age. It's funny, emotional at times, and it's just such a great time. And to make things better, there's a Paddington 2, which is incredible, and we have a third Paddington movie coming out later this year. And as a review I found says, this film is like the pasta for all foods. Similar to pasta, Paddington is the best thing in the world. Need I say more? Go watch Paddington. Okay, so let's mention one more movie, something to wrap the list up. A movie that is a big hug, an extremely comforting movie, one to inspire you, warm you, and help you feel a little bit better. The classic, fantastic Mr. Fox. In every single way, this movie is perfect. From the stop motion animation to every single character in the film, it is beautiful. If you don't know, then Fantastic Mr. Fox is about Mr. Fox, a family man, goes back to his ways of stealing, unable to resist his animal instincts. However, he finds himself trapped when 3 farmers decide to kill him and his kind. But what makes this movie rise miles beyond the surface is that Wes Anderson directed it, and it made it near magical by doing so. The colors, the character design, the movie, everything about this film is a hug. This movie is a great commentary about self-love and overcoming adversity. It features quirky and lovable characters with individual personalities that you will quickly be drawn to, and the attention to detail is extremely evident as each shot is bursting with color and character, which showcases the love that was given to the project. It's an incredible way to wrap up our little roadmap of getting over heartbreak. And if those movies weren't enough, here's 10 more for you. Bottoms, The Holdovers, Are You There God? It's Me, Margaret, Theatre Camp, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Cha Cha Real Smooth, Petit Maman, Rye Lane, Election, Columbus. I know this is a safe list in every single way, but that's what I wanted to create. I didn't want anything too niche. I wanted something open to everybody. Movies that can console you and hopefully help you feel a little bit better. And if that doesn't work, then that's okay. Things will slowly get better. It'll take some time, but they will. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye, and I'm sorry for being sick. My voice sounds ridiculous. Bye bye.